It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we're going to be taking a beer from Lidl. It's their Down South Brewing brand of beer. And this is their Bitter is Better double hopped Citra IPA. And this one's coming in at 5.9% ABV in a 330 milliliter can. A lime green can on this one. Very quickly, this is the third beer that we've reviewed from the new, this is a new range of beer, the Down South Brewing from Lidl. If you want to take a look at some of the previous beers that we've reviewed from this new brewing company from Lidl, or this new brand really, the Market Brew Pale Ale is on YouTube. The Modern IPA, Counterculture Modern IPA is on YouTube. And now this is the third beer that we're going to review. Get it out into a glass and see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening, beer in the glass. So this is the only beer that's not been put in a 4-pack. You can only buy the Pale Ale and the IPA in 4-packs. And they come in at about £2.50 a box, between £2 and £2.50 a box. This is a single can that you can buy, probably because of the ABV. Probably because they didn't want you buying 4 cans of 5.9% ABV beer for whatever reason. I mean, it's not like we're children, is it? One finger whitehead, good levels of carbonation. What I will say is this is a slightly lighter usage of malt. The two beers that they brewed previously, I'll just grab them like this, you can see that it's a slightly lighter malt that they've used in this beer. Doesn't show up in the camera too much, but it definitely is a slightly lighter malt, which is good. I prefer to see a lighter malt in an IPA. Nice even carbonation. Let's get the aroma on the beer then. So it's still, the disappointment with these beers is they're all very metallic. They're all very metallic, and the higher the ABV, the more kind of metallic flavours that are coming through on the aroma. You didn't really get it in the Pale Ale, the metallic aroma, but then when it got jumped up to that 5.3%, 5.4% IPA, you really started to get a metallic aroma, and now jumping up to 5.9% ABV, it's even more prominent. A real metallic, kind of buttery aroma to the beer. It is zesty, it's lemony and zesty and touch spicy. I'm expecting it to be really, really bitter. I'm expecting they've chucked all that double hopping. I imagine they've just chucked it all in the boil. Judging by it being called Bitter is Better. Let's dive in then. I'm not writing it off completely, but you can kind of, I think you can kind of see my mood going into this one after drinking the first two beers. I need to probably raise my enthusiasm levels a little bit. Come on, let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, it's passable. Oh, and then I was just waiting and waiting. It didn't come. I waited and waited, and I said, oh, that's passable. And then as soon as I mentioned that, bang! Big face full of copper nails. But it's better. This is the best beer out of the three. This is the best out of the 3 beers. This is the best beer out of the 3. Ooh. It's hiding a lot though. It's definitely hiding a lot. The first half of the flavour, so when you taste the beer, you'll get different stages of flavour when you taste it, especially if you have a beer that's had loads of hops added, lots of malts. Maybe it's a yeast forward beer. You'll have kind of different levels of flavour going along. A bit like a Battenberg. Different layers of flavour. A Neapolitan ice cream. So first of all, I'm getting a little bit of sweetness in there, followed by grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange, spiciness, pepperiness. It's all going so well. You're like, ooh, yeah, this is good. This is good. And then it's like just, and then it just takes off. This kind of like metallic flavour takes off. There's a lot of hidden. It's almost to the point of being filled with diacetyl. It's not quite diacetyl, but it's kind of lurking around. It's like touching diacetyl. If you're a brewer, or if you've been drinking beer for years, you'll understand what diacetyl is. If you're new to beer, diacetyl is where the brewing process has been shut off early. They've not yet let the yeast do its job. Then what happens then? An infection happens in the beer, and it produces a buttery taste. It's a slight buttery taste in there, but in the brewing world, it's called diacetyl. It's an actual term. It's a beery thing. They have put a lot of hops in the boil. It's definitely quite a bitter beer, but they've also made an effort to put some hops in the fermenter. I think it's a bit more hoppy. It's a bit more flavoursome than the other two beers. If I had my arms tied behind my back and was marched down the beer aisle in Lidl, you know, and I had to point with my nose which beer I had to buy 4 cans of, it would definitely be the double hop Citra IPA. Look, maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Maybe there's people watching this beer review. They're on a budget, you know, and they're it is brewed for a budget. It is in Lidl after all. But I have had better beers in Lidl. There are better beers to choose in Lidl. I would prefer to buy a 6-pack bottle of their Pilsner, to be honest. I'd rather buy their Pilsner than this. I'd rather buy their Weiss beer, their Patronus, Perlenbacher Patronus Weiss beer, than this. Even though these days, when they reduce the ABV of the Perlenbacher down to 5%, it now gives me a raging hangover, a raging headache. The Weiss beer, I would still prefer to buy that over this. It's a shame. It's a shame because they're a German company, and when it comes to German people and German culture and German companies, they generally know an awful lot about beer. And it just shows that, I reckon if you got the little German management over here to try these beers, I think they would be quite upset at what Lidl UK are deeming acceptable for their stores. Rating. Nice lacing. A little bit of carbonation in there. The beer looks nice, the beer smells okay. It's the best of a bad bunch, if I'm perfectly honest. Slightly buttery taste going on. Real bitterness in there. Real metallic copper. It's like someone's dumped a handful of copper nails in the bottom of the glass. Really metallic. I give the other two beers a 5. I'm going to give this a 6. 6 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.